You know, as I said, I never know where song ideas will come from, and this one, I was going from Minneapolis to the airport to fly to Washington, D.C., and I was debating whether I should take a taxi or take a little bus, which saves money, and I decided to go for the bus. So when the bus arrived at the hotel, and I got on, I couldn't help but notice that the bus driver was playing extremely loud polka-dancing music on the bus. It was so loud. I felt like I was being pranked or something. You know, like this was the polka bus and I didn't know about it. But I asked him, because I'm curious, and I just figured there's got to be a reason. So I said to the bus driver, can you tell me, why are you playing such loud polka music? So he started to tell all of us in this little bus the story of how much he loved polka music and what it meant to him. And he's telling the story as he's dropping passengers off and picking passengers up. And it ended up that I was the last person. I was the only one who heard the entire story. So I figured, well, I have to do something with it. So I wrote this for him. And the irony of it is, it's about polka music, but it has no music. But it's a spoken poem. And this is called The Polka-Dancing Bus Driver and the 40-Year-Old Mystery. He drives the airport express bus in Minneapolis. He plays polka music for the passengers he drives. He works Monday through Friday, the same shift every day. But it's on Saturdays and Sundays, he says, that he comes alive. My wife and I go polka dancing every single weekend. We've developed quite a style over 37 years. We met while roller skating, which soon led to dating and eventually to mating and settling right here. Now, I'm not a braggart, but I can say with pride and joy that I have been graceful on my feet since I was a little boy. People stop and watch us dancing now. We know we must look smooth. My wife and I have memorized all of each other's moves. But one thing has always bothered me. When I was a kid, girls would never dance with me, no matter what I did. I know I wasn't handsome. The truth is I was poor. I tried hard to be friendly. I don't think I was a bore. But all the girls that I approached simply shook their heads. So I'd retreat across the dance floor and hang out with my buddies there instead. And soon, I just stopped asking them. It was easier that way. Thank God my future wife walked into the roller rink that day. Now, last year we went to the 40th reunion of my high school class. My wife and I danced all the dances, the slow ones and the fast. And I saw the girls, they're women now, who never danced with me. And all those awkward feelings came back the way it used to be. So I went right up to them, even though I was shaking all inside, and I said, something has always bothered me and left me mystified. Years ago I asked all of you to dance. You always said no. What was it about me that you all disliked so? Well, they stuttered and they stammered and then they said, it wasn't you. We didn't know how to dance. We thought you knew because we never danced with anyone. We always felt like fools. We were perennial wallflowers all through high school. So, one by one, he danced them each around the high school gym. His wife smiled as the girls awkwardly tried to follow him. Then he took her in his arms, glided out the door. The 40-year-old mystery, a mystery no more. Now, a funny thing happened with that. A couple weeks later, I was doing a phone interview with Minnesota Public Radio, and they asked me, how was your most recent trip to our city? And I said, oh, it was great. In fact, I met a polka-dancing bus driver, and I wrote a poem about him. And they said, well, let's hear it. So I recited the poem over the phone, live, on Minnesota Public Radio. And there was a journalist listening who worked for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune who decided this might make an interesting story. Or he was going to expose me as a fraud that I made it up. So, unbeknownst to me, he went out, started asking questions, and he found the polka-dancing bus driver. And he called the station, and the journalist and the bus driver went to the radio station. They called me up, and they had me recite the poem to him over the phone. And afterwards, they said, did she get it right? He goes, yeah, yup, she got everything right. And, the one thing I forgot to tell you, when he dropped me off finally at my stop at the airport, I was so happy that I got the story from him that I decided to tip him $5. So I put the $5 in my hand, and then I tried to get him to dance with me a little bit, and I totally freaked him out. He goes, "What are you doing? It's against regulations, no dancing." So they said, "Do you remember this passenger?" And he goes, "I sure do. In my 35 years of bus driving, I never had anybody try to dance with me before." So he said that this is the second time that he'd been tapped on the shoulder by show business, because he and his wife, and he didn't tell me this when I met him, were extras in the movie Grumpier Old Men. There's a big polka dancing scene, and I've seen it since then, and he's very tall. And so his name is Ron Meyer, and he said when he is ready to retire from bus driving, he's going to go to Hollywood to become a movie star. So, yeah. So if you're the type, do you like to watch the credits roll at the end of the movies? If you ever see the name Ron Meyer going by, you will know how his career got started.